Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Swill Radio Show. All right, so we're going to go ahead and give you some more good stuff here. We did have the 90-Day Fiancé Happily Ever After Tell-All show, which came on. And, man, it segued from the last episode because they kind of combined both of them together. They showed, Colt going to the show, and he was doing his thing. All right, so it's pretty vague, and I know it's a two-part series, so next week we'll have to wait for that next part 2 for that tell-all. But it's all good. We got some juice, we got some dirt, we got some tea, not very much, but we got a little bit here and there. Pretty much, that I'll have to make one complaint, guys. The host, Sean, whatever her name is, she's horrible, man. Like, they always put her, and they got this one tall white lady on there too. Not saying anything bad about white people or anything like that, but this chick is tall. She looks like a behemoth. They're both horrible hosts, man. Like, daggone, let's get a dude. Let's get me. I'll do it. Why not? But I digress, guys. All right, so Colt goes up to the show, and they had like the little waiting area for all the couples and everything like that. And what's going on? Oh, Colt was just, chilling on the couch. You see Ashley, and then you see Pedro. Pedro's asking Ashley, hey, where's your husband? And she's like, I'm not his babysitter, blah, 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 blah. So we all know what's going on with that. If you guys don't know, check out the channel. I break everything down for you guys, let you guys know exactly what's going on. Sometimes I'll let you guys know a little more than what we probably will see on these TV shows as well, which is good because we don't hear everything on the show. And I do notice that sometimes on the show, they do fabricate some things. Some people get, a little bit more fame than they should get, or whatever the case is. Who knows? All right, so yeah. Colt's on the couch. Colt's there. Pedro's asking Ashley, where's your husband? She's defensive. She's quiet. She looks pretty thin. She had that little tummy tuck. Her lips are looking a little bit thicker. She's got the lip job. We know that she's got some stuff done, guys. Maybe she got her boobs done too. I'm not really sure. I had to look at it before and after pictures just to make that determination, guys. But that's what the case is there. All right, so they're sitting on the couch. Well, Colt is sitting next to Ashley, and Pedro makes a comment, and Chantal's like, hey, Pedro, hey, calm down. Don't say that. Whatever the case is. And, Colt's getting defensive, and he's like, look, I'm like anyone else. I take care of my mother. I love my mother, blah, 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 and this and that. And that's how that occurred there. And then Chantal popped shots for some reason. She should have kept her mouth shut, honestly. She popped some shots at Colt, and I'm just like, what? So he really goes in on her, and he's telling her that, STFU, keep your mouth shut. And then, Pedro's over here, don't talk to my wife like that. Ho, 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 you're not gonna talk to my wife like that. Talking really fast. Don't talk to my wife like that. And then Chantal, of course, says, you're not gonna disrespect me like that. So they go back in and out. So she stands up and she walks out. And Colt's like, bye, Chantal. And she's like, you will not talk to me. You will not address me. You won't say anything to me at all. But it's like, I know these guys have feelings for each other on these shows. They watch everyone's story, and they want to say their part too. But it's not the place sometimes. You got to be careful. If you can't defend yourself, which I know she can. She's very, very, very good at doing defense and all that kind of stuff. Just don't say anything, guys. It's not fair. All right, so after that, they call the couples to the stage. Everybody's there except for Jay. Everybody's wondering where Jay is. So everybody gets placed where they're sitting. Ashley gets set next to Colt. And, the host, Sean, whatever her name is, I can't remember her name, but I don't know. Anyway, she asked a couple questions to Ashley. And actually, she asked Colt, wait, what's going on in the backstage? Did something happen? She's trying to stir the tea a little bit. She's not doing a very good job of stirring the tea. You got to put a little bit of sugar in there and some other stuff. Then you can stir it up. Don't stir up some off the wall, out the bag tea. You can't do that. So Ashley's like, oh, there's some stuff that went on backstage, and you sit me next to Colt, this and that. And she's like really repulsed. And Colt's like, hey, why is everybody after me? He said, I was just talking to people. That's his thing that he said he was doing. I was just talking to people. All right, so we know better than that. All right, so they're going back and forth. And, they got some other people. They got Russ and Paula. Ashley's by herself. Chantal and Pedro. And then, they're going through. And let me see what else happened on this thing here. Let me click my thoughts a little bit. But this pretty much turned into the Pedro and Chantal show, basically. Because, they got their show starting pretty much on Monday nights, 10 o'clock on what channel is that? TLC. Yeah, TLC. All right, so a little bit later in the show, they kind of like fast forward a little bit because there wasn't much going on. It was pretty much a lot of silence, and a lot of people were just like had some animosity. You had Paula, she's popping some shots too. It's so quiet, but she was kind of, I like this couple, but I'm not a big fan of her. So they're losing cool points, guys. She's losing cool points. Russ is not saying anything, but Paula is. So Paula talks some smack to some people, try to stir a pot a little bit. Jake comes on stage. He sits down. He wants to say some stuff. They ask a couple questions. He's like, hey, you guys don't know the whole story, but you guys want to know the whole story? You guys come to the Swill Radio Show. Subscribe, and we'll give you all the tea that you guys are looking for, all that dirt. We find out a lot of stuff that you will never see on these TV shows, and you may not see on these other YouTube channels. So we'll give you some other stuff like that too. You can't go wrong subscribing, guys. Subscribing is free. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it does support the channel 100%. All right, so there they go. So next thing you know, Chantal's parents come on the screen, and Pedro is like, oh, I have to go use the bathroom. Sorry. So he's trying to avoid a situation. He doesn't want to talk to his in-laws, and they go in and this and that, and they talk about Pedro a little bit, how they're trying to mend the relationship, but he is trying not to do anything, and it's pretty much the same thing. He's saying the same thing as far as his wife's not having his back in front of her parents. She said the same thing about him. Pedro doesn't have her back in front of the mom and the sister, and it goes back and forth. So finally, Pedro comes out of the bathroom, and he's just like the whole time acting childish, acting like a little kid, man. I kind of want to smack him a little bit. I'm on his side. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on his side. I'm Team Pedro. Yeah, I said it. But when he's acting like this, no, sir. I can't be part of that. No parts of that, sir. None of that effery. So the producer's like, hey, what's going on? He's trying to calm Pedro down. Pedro comes back to the stage. The parents still on the screen. They're talking, this and that. And Pedro's like, this has been 4 years going on, and there's nothing changing. I don't get this. This makes no sense. Makes no sense. He's like, I don't want any parts of this. So then they come on to they talk about the spinoff of the Family Chantal. They come off with that, of course. Free advertising. Good job, TLC. Good job. All right, so they talk about that. And Pedro has his hand on his head, or his arms crossed, has his head back, and he's looking like a little 5-year-old that didn't get that candy they wanted, or the ice cream or something like that. He's looking like that. So Chantel's like, oh my God, the marriage, this and that. She knows the marriage is over. He knows the marriage is over, but they're just like stringing it along for some reason. I guess for their TV show that they got coming out, which I think is not cool. They shouldn't have gave them a show, but they did. People love it. People are going to watch it. It's going to get ratings. Whatever the case is, I digress on that. So anyway, the family goes away. They're talking to Larissa on the show, and she announced that she got a new. She didn't really say that she had a new boyfriend, but this is her new boyfriend. They're gonna say it on part 2. I already know it. So it becomes the Colt and Larissa show again, real quick. Larissa's talking about how this and that. She's happy, blah blah blah. She's at her house, and that kind of thing like that. And Colt looked like he was about to cry, like a baby, like straight up boo-hoo it all the way. And then of course they got Ashley and Jay talking their stuff, not really saying much. My man over here has a lot to say in his thing, man. Ashley's over here trying to be all high and mighty and just be like, oh, this and that, my life is the best. I'm 100% right in this relationship. But he said, you guys don't know the whole story. But I know for sure this brother right here is about to spill some tea. For real, guys. And this takes place before he gets locked up. Or actually turns himself in. He didn't get locked up. Like, he's locked up, but he turned himself in. Because he could have been hiding from ICE if he wanted to do that. Which a lot of people do. They hide. Like Larissa, she has to hide. But he turned himself in. These are events before that. But they make it look like they taped this on Sunday, the 21st of July. They make it look like they did that, but this is like done a couple months way before that. All right, so I hate that I watched the second part just to hear any kind of tea that's coming up. But I know for sure as she storms off the stage, she's pissed off, and this gives this brother right here all the ammo he needs to say what he has to say. Because there's been a lot of social media action, but you guys have to watch the rest of the episodes we have on the show, guys. We have a lot. So you're going to get all that tea and all that dirt right there from us firsthand. As soon as we get it, guys, we may take some time to get it put out, maybe a day or two, but we'll get it out, and we'll get it out as fast as possible and as accurate as possible. Because I know a lot of people, they rush these little ideas out, and they're just like, oh my God, yeah, let's go ahead and get this out now. And then all of a sudden, the information they put out is crap. It's not even reputable. So we make sure we put out reputable stuff that's factual. You know, sometimes we talk to the people sometimes. You never know. We got Instagram, we got Facebook, we got everything that we can use to our ability, guys. And that's where we get that information out, so we can get the facts out to you guys. But if you guys enjoyed today's episode, make sure you drop that like on there. We definitely appreciate you watching wholeheartedly. But stay tuned for part 2. We'll have to get that next week. But we have a lot of TV shows coming up, guys. We got the Family Chantal. We got 90 Day Fiancé the other way. We got the next 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days about to start up on, I think, August 4th. That's coming out. I'm pretty excited, man. TV is starting to get, like, I'm not going to say TV is getting good again, but we're getting some more TV, and I really appreciate that. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. We will see you on the next one. Peace out and love you all.